All right, final set. I have no clue how this is happening, but we've got a golden kappa train here on Twitch. So thank you, everybody. Final set of the group. When the group started, everyone said, holy crap, group of death. And then after that, they all expected the Hera would win the group. And right now, Hera is ahead in the group. Hera would get first place and get a bye into the quarterfinals as long as he gets one win here. So my expectation, as I think this is the live standings, my expectation is that Hera will get one win, will lock down first place. But if Vinchester's able to win the 3-0, he could steal first place from him, which means 2 days off, a bye into the quarterfinals, and of course you're separated from everyone else who's in first place. Now, Hera's gone for the Burgundians, but before we get there, Vinchester's gone for the Persians and has gone insta-dock. The amount of early barracks, the amount of early docks we have seen this season is unreal. It's got to be a new record. And it's just players trying to find any tiny little advantage they can. And speaking of, Hera runs forward. Hera takes a water buffalo. And Hera's looking around. But yeah, I had complaints on this map when we first created it that the reeds were not fair, which sounds ridiculous because you got 50 wood on per reed. And it would be sometimes 6 for one player and sometimes 5 for the other. So that's 250 wood for 5 reeds because it's only 50 wood per reed. And that is what Vinchester is trying to do. He's trying to do the math here. Hera might actually see it, which would be funny. Yeah, Hera sees it. And Vinch is using the water buffalo for food and then making fishing ships. I mean, in Hera's case, you could just take the food. You can just take the salmon. But hold on. Hera's also not taking it. And he's going for early lumber camp. And also going for early double bid axe, which his Civ can do. So yeah, you do the math on it. You think, okay, 150 wood for the dock, 2 fishing ships. Then how much wood do I have left? And right now there's only 87 wood of reeds left. And you need the houses too. So basically the question is, has Vinchester done the math? And if the answer is yes, he could probably still get a lumber camp up without having to walk a really long distance. Yeah, typically, though, players are going for the lumber camps in the middle. There's not very many good lumber camp spots. Like, that is a far distance to travel for Vinch. This is wide open. And then for Hera as well is kind of far away, and he chose not to go for it. I guess from efficiency standpoint, you would always want to build the lumber camp as quickly as possible here. So that's the logic of placing this lumber camp. Double berries. So your long-term food is exposed there. I think that's part of why this fishing economy has become a thing. And people want fish traps because this is so exposed. Like your farming eco, your berry eco is really, really awkward. And here go the villagers for Vinch. Hera got hit a little bit. I like the active scouting from Hera, though. He's letting Vinchester know that he knows exactly what he's up to. And Hera goes for the villager kill here. That's a downhill hit. So Vinch might need some quick walls, and that's really nice from Hera. That's good micro, too. You could actually get a second fill. Unlikely, but Vinchester's choosing to take the risk. And Hera loses the scout. And so it started off great for Hera. And like so many before him, he got too greedy. And now a scout is dead. But it's funny. Hera's also adding the dock. So we have the first double dock game on this map, I think. I've seen dock v no dock. I've yet to see dock v dock. What is the playoff meta going to be? Guys, every single freaking season, we have our maps, right? And we're like, all right, we got our hybrid maps where it's intended to fish and land, right? We have our... We try and come up with a variety. So it's like 4 open land maps, 4 maps that incorporate water, 4 maps that have walls, 4 maps that playstyle is this, 4 maps that playstyle is this. And last season we had Acropolis. There was this tiny little freaking pond in the middle of the map with 2 fish. And all the map was fight over the fish. So we did reverse Acropolis this time. We removed the fish. I'd never expected it to be a conversation with Mudflow. But, I mean, there are fish there. Typically, you're taking with the villagers, but any puddle you can fit a dock, people want to do it. Apparently. But, I mean, the real water aspect, the important thing you typically think about on this on this map with docking is the dock in the middle. Just not for the economic reasons, but for the demos and the galleys that could come out later. But yeah, both players fishing. We'll see if there's fish traps as well. It is big investment. but it's pretty smart to at least save the salmon so the fish have something to do. And barracks for Vinchester, lumber camp on the front for Hera. No barracks for him yet. He's actually on gold, which makes me think he wants to play archers. We've had a lot of gifted subs, guys. The sub train continues. Thank you, Trash, for keeping that going. Thank you, Hashini, for multiple gifted subs. I still have no clue who Anonymous is, but thanks to Anonymous. Ducks, thank you. Caddy, thank you. Latoni, thank you. John, thank you. Hawks, thank you. There will be an archery range from Vinch. Did he see the gold at all? Didn't see the golds. So the thing about playing in towards fishing ships is you need a lot of wood. And when you play in towards archers, you also need a lot of wood. So I think the reason they're both going archers is because you have more on wood, which lends yourself put yourself in a nice position, rather, for the fishing traps. But yeah, they both know what the other's up to. They're both going to eventually add fish traps. Hera's actually going to add some Flemish militia, though, which I like. Because Flemish militia are very good for what they do. And on an open map where there's lots of different areas to harass, it's extremely difficult for Vinchester to protect everything. Thank you, Anonymous, again. Bel Air, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome in. So far, I mean, very even game. Hera Civ does get the economic upgrades early, though, so having Bowsaw is very nice. Hera's also more protected for the time being. These walls won't be perfect forever, but that's pretty good. And there's our first fish trap. I was surprised. The devs, they buffed the fish traps, so they made the fish traps much stronger. It used to be the fishing traps would die pretty quickly. A Vinchester, nice find here. Nice blocking. It finds the Flemish militia, makes it look very easy. Remember, Hera's completely in the dark here, so he lost that scout after killing the Vil. And the Persians, they produce villagers very quickly, so not really much of an issue for them to recover that. And Hera will opt with the tower. I feel like if I'm the favorite in a set, guys, I never want maps where crazy things can happen. You want, like, things that are within your control. And when I look at the 3 maps we're going to see, we got Mudflow, where crazy things can happen. That could, you know, Hera's not a massive favorite, but he is the favorite. That could be problematic. And then we have Bypass, and we have Coast Arena as well. So if there was a map pool for the 3-0 to happen, for the favorite to go down, I think this could maybe be it. And I say that just because Hera has no control right now. He goes for the archery range. Still got time. Still goes for the fishing ships. Adds a couple fishing traps here. We're just literally going to be counting fishing traps, which is the world we're in present-day Age of Empires, on any map with a pond. And Hera just fighting this back. Hera's just waiting. That scout being weak means that he's 2 archers versus, like, 2.1 units here. Hera will be happy. And there, Hera's just attacking a house for whatever reason. I don't think he realized. How is Hera not a massive favorite? I mean, depends on your definition of massive favorite. Hera, Vinchester, both top 10 players in the world. When you're looking at top 10, I feel like it's difficult to see a sweep on either side. If this is a situation where Vinch needed to win 2-1, I could see it happening, but Hera's obviously a big favorite. I think Hera's going to be a favorite against everybody this tourney. And we got the tower on the back for Vinch, which is quite nice because Hera's tower doesn't actually range that tower. And Hera doesn't seem to realize his wood's being disrupted right now. And that's going to be the concern, right? You need the wood lines. Hera does still have the ranged units. Vinchester's probably like, where is your army, bro? Like, I don't see any of your army here. And Hera actually hops into the town center with the archers, and I think Vinchester should know what that means, because there's not any villagers around there. But it's a bit of a unique scenario. You might not expect there to be any villagers or arrows there, and yeah, now he's like, oh, I see. Yeah, but Hera's woodline will be an issue. Vinchester actually going to the stone there and putting some archers into that. Very nice control here from Vinch. And Hera just booming, waiting for Castle Age. Vinchester doing the same. Fishing trap count, we've got 7. Fishing trap count, we've got 7, right? So it's pretty much the same. Hera might want to go for a counterattack at some stage. But If Vinchester's able to get enough stone to build a defensive tower on the wood line, he should be fairly happy there. I think that's what's important about this right now, is if you get enough stone, you can tower your wood line at home, you're fine. Hera's still reacting. Doesn't have the control over the game, which he likes. Can't justify a counterattack because he doesn't know what's out there. This is still extremely vulnerable. But you see, it's like, if Hera was able to hit this before he could defend, or hit the wood line before he could get to the tower, he had his moments. Now it's a little bit more questionable on what Hera can do. I like this, though. Because why send your archers forward when you can just send a demo into the wood line, and the demo can still be good against the tower, and Hera jumps on this, and Hera gets a really nice clear up. Yep, Hera's patience pays off. Just defending, just waiting. He didn't take any significant damage. This is obviously extremely awkward. But now Vinchester has to invest into skirms. And if you spend your skirms, your food rather, on skirms, you are much later to Castle Age. Hera would just relocate the wood line, move there. Archers move forward. We might have a demo from the dock. It's important that Hera keeps his archers alive, though. Yeah, he moves right into the skirms. So as bad as that looked for Vinchester, I think this is going to be more than fine. Little surprised that Hera moved out, but again, he just doesn't know his opponent has the skirms. He's been defensive most of the game. I think at least what this does tell you if you're Hera is you can do exactly what you want to do, which is play stable units here. And loses a couple archers. I think his plan was always to drop a stable anyways. And Vinchester will balance out his eco to click up to Castle Age. And there he goes. T90, what time do you pick up your bride? Question mark. I pick up my fiance and her friends when the series ends. And we have some really long games, so I'm not leaving TTL early. That is currently the plan, but that plan may change if the series goes on for a while here. Another tower from Vinch. Demo going in from Hera. Brace yourself, guys. There's a lot happening. Vinchester will definitely look here. Here goes Hera. Big boom incoming. He kills 2 Vils. Honestly, I feel a little... I feel a little disappointed with that result. I was expecting like 6. But he kills 2 villagers. He will also lose his whole army, and he will be pushed off the wood line again, which is a growing problem for him. Vinchester didn't even notice that happened. But both players had a lot going on, and now Hera's in the Castle Age. That's one of those. Hera can get much better value if he's just able to find villagers together like this, but they were all kind of spread out. And both players were really busy. Yeah, so for Hera, fighting over the middle is going to... Oh, I just missed another one. Hera hit another demo. He got a redemption demo. Where was it? Damn, that's crazy that Vinchester just noticed the first one and another one comes in. Boom. That's what we're looking for. 4 villager kills. Yeah, like... That's a great strat from Hera. And he still has all this space over here to drop the town centers. So while it has been the concern to like freely chop the wood, for him, he still hasn't taken near the risk that or the punishment that Vinchester has. Vinchester getting gill nets now, so his fish fish more efficiently. And we'll add camels now. Yeah, Hera... There's not a lot that Hera does wrong in a game, right? And even if there's incorrect strategic decisions, the ability's there to recover from it. But if the fishing lines upgrade, it's been like 2 or 3 games since the new patch. Everyone's got to get used to that fishing lines upgrade. Because the Burgundians can actually get it in Dark Age, right? And it's cheaper. So it gets that now. Vinchester's already on gill nets, for example. With no discounts. Another demo there from Hera. Just lurking around. It takes down the gate. I'll keep an eye on that. That's demo number 3 from Hera. He goes for town center number 2. He is attacking here. Nice little hold for Vinchester. Easy to forget about that. The camel should be on the way, but he needs a quick wall, and he does get it. Yeah, Cavalier, a completely different animal, right? 12 base attack. And it's also a different animal against the camels, too, and Hera knows that. Hera, I like the recognition there that he didn't need to back away. And both players will want to save their weak units to heal them up, and Hera now chooses to back off there, but nice kill. Hera will have the monks out. It's never realistic to spam triple stable Cavalier with this eco, but when you have the resources for it, it's nice to have the third stable. Honestly, I think Vinchester's approach has been good in terms of the map control, but Hera has just had a much more efficient economy, which is often the case. This last minute, it's been 3% more efficient. I'm seeing the town centers come up faster here. It's just mainly the wood income. Like, sometimes you can hit a wall on this map when you don't have consistent wood income. And for Vinch, in theory, it should be there. But the wood line is still not what it was. Hera booming. And camels, that sometimes feels extremely awkward because you can't really do a lot of eco damage with them. Especially if your opponent has a couple spears or a couple monks around. Camels are a tough unit to use as your offensive tool. Hera will, I think, be fine here. Monks there. Vinchester running around. And monks are still everywhere. And Hera just needs to pay attention. Vinchester's doing a really nice job, though. Annoying for Hera. This is frustrating for Hera. But Hera will find it. Hera gets the conversion. Still sitting back. Holding just fine. This army's still being chased away by a monk as well. And both players should really start to transition into farming eco. Vinchester has horse collar. Hera doesn't have horse collar, but with the recent changes, not having horse collar when you build your initial farms isn't nearly as punishing as it used to be anyways. So, which I'm still not a fan of, by the way, but I have informed myself on the numbers. And it's not exactly how I thought it would work, but still, I really like the timing on horse collar as a conversation in AoE. Nice monk snipe there from Vinchester. I think we're going late, guys. I think we're going late. Neither player has enough to break the other right now. Vinchester still has a lot of army. Hera will lose another monk here. Hera's stone is still exposed. Like, yeah, Hera's defending from the attacks, and yes, he's got the reputation, but it's like, when is he actually going to push out across the map and do some damage to Vinchester beyond some random demos? He needs to switch to pikes or something. And we just haven't seen it. I wonder if part of it is he is running out of wood. Like, I'm gonna double check real quick, just a couple things that I feel are valuable. So he's got like 2,000 food left on those farms. The fishing traps, he's got 3,600, which obviously it's a lot of food. But look at this from like Vinch's perspective. The fish traps, I guess they don't get more, but it's 5k wood left on those fish traps. And then his farms have something like okay, 4k, which to me is similar. I think I'm getting a little too crazy here. The main thing is, I think he's taking the bigger wood lines, the more efficient wood lines. And he has that accessible, and it's not accessible for Hera. And he still cannot deal with these camels. He really wants a castle defensively somewhere, maybe in the middle of the map, and he just can't breathe right now, and he's losing monks. I just feel like Hera hasn't taken any good fights. And again, beyond the demos, it's been no great engagements for Hera. That engagements may be acceptable. And there we see the power of the Cavalier. More pikemen are on the way. Vinchester actually dropping an archer range in the middle. It's so like Hera, though. It's like, it's not good, but it's not awful, right? And there's enough potential to just kind of stabilize. Does he see the archer range at all? He does not. So he doesn't know it's going to be crossbow with the camels from Vinchester. But the timing's critical here, because if you don't have the crossbowmen soon, Hera can get the castle, and Vinchester's coming with villagers to also drop the castle. I think Vinch sees the movement there. He loses a camel. There's too many pikes. I think Vinch sees the vills. Oh. Do you drop your own or what? You do. Hera has the resources for Imp. Hera will see the castle. There's not too much he can do about it. But Hera has already got the res for Imp. Hera will balance out his res, look to click up. And Vinchester's got villagers in the north. He must not have known about this town center. And he just runs right into it. And Hera also sees that and has the Cavalier on the way. Yeah, just like that. It's like you don't do enough damage to take the map away from Hera. And Hera's eco is good enough. And he's just going to smash you anyways. He'll find the villagers here. Vinchester tried to be creative with the crossbow switch and the castle. And now you just have castle v castle, Hera on the way to imp. The thinking from Vinch, I have no clue what the villagers in the north were doing. But the thinking was crossbow camel, kill the pike defense, take the hill, castle drop him, and like, you know, find the timing. But I think crossbow came a little bit too late. Too many camels went down. And now, you know, your crossbow investment hasn't found the payoff. And Hera's already on the way to the Imperial Age. Just crazy. It's why people, when they play against certain players, they just think they have to play 1 TC if they're ever going to be aggressive. And if you're not going to be aggressive, you're just like, okay, then we just boom. Because it's not enough to get enough damage done. Like, Vinchester felt like he hit Hera off the stone like 3 or 4 times, and it was still never enough. Hera does have a demo in this dock, so it's kind of difficult for Vinchester to leave again. And Hera is taking some damage. Vinchester is on the way to imp. Vinchester still has the middle wood lines. Vinchester can lose this castle, and that's still okay. Feels like Hera's going to go Paladin here. 50% off with the Burgundians. He has the 10 Cavalier just waiting right now. There's also not a lot of camels anymore. But I don't know, guys. Like, Vinchester's got a really close eye on the golds. For Hera, I think he's going to run out of res and not... He's got so much focus on clearing this right now. I don't know if he's thinking about how the golds are positioned on the map. Vinchester drops a castle here, has both these golds locked down. Vinchester built outposts along the north, sees that Hera's running out of gold. Hera's gold situation could be his downside here. Like, okay, you get Paladin. You get the Trebs out, you take this castle down. But if you can't advance through the middle of the map with comfort because there's going to be camels or halbs or something, it could be an issue. This would be ridiculous if he denies his castle, by the way. That's... like, there's no scouting there? It's just him thinking about it and just weird timing there. But yeah, the castle's going to go up. And now Hera at least knows that he's got to think about pressuring that area. And first Treb is out. We actually see the Siphons upgrade. I think, what's that do again? That adds the charge attack to the fires, right? Or is that just... Why is that the same tech as the fast fire tech? It's always confusing to me. I'm still getting used to that. Cavalier, get found by the camels. Hera doesn't have Paladin in or any support. But yeah, the point is that Navy can be strong on this map. I think Persians get heavy demo too. So Persians could be the better save if you incorporate some water there. That's a nice find. This is also a nice find. Oh, demo. Ah, never mind. Hera still doesn't have Paladin. He wants the pikes combined with the Paladin, which makes it a tougher engagement for Vinch. Vinch is holding this castle, I think, just to deny the res. Basically, the strategy for Vinchester is deny the golds and the wood lines from Hera. It looks bad for Vinchester losing this castle, but I think he was always going to. And I think having the left castle's fine, and having the northern castle is fine as well. Hera's castles are pretty good, but he needs to be mining more gold than he is right now if he wants more paladins, or if he wants the hand cannons. Vinchester is going to add fire ships. Interesting. But you need the imp warships upgrade now, too. I haven't seen this yet. The Siphons upgrade fire ships against like Paladin and Halb, I've never seen. I think demos should be really good against double melee units. But I guess it's worse against buildings and whatnot, which can always be a factor, too. It's such a tough engagement against the Halb Paladin comp, because, like, for Hera, it's what I call lazy man's micro. You just patrol in. Usually the fight's going to be pretty decent for you. The ranged units, you have to micro so much on the back. It's so awkward. Oh, this is a nice find for Hera. He knows. He knows that Vinchester needs to wait a little bit. And so he goes in for the fishing ships. And hello, fire ships are in the dock. I think they could never leave because of the fishing traps blocking them or something. That's a crazy raid for Hera, though. That's so good. That's such a nice find. And meanwhile, he's got his Trebs over here, taking down the castle. And I don't even think that fight was good enough for Vinchester to clearly win it either. And the Halbs were there for a while. The crossbows do very little with his Persians now. And Hera could still switch over to the left side, drop a town center, take the gold. He's getting Burgundian vineyards now as well. So that will give some gold that come from his farms. And just Hera's able to wait to the last possible second. I think it's a little risky, but he's able to toe the line here because he's clearly out of gold now. But now he can find the timing to come take the gold. Okay, there's the warships upgrade again from Vinch. So these fires are going to be fast fires. And then you have the camels as well. He will fall back here and drop town centers around where the golds are. But losing, like, giving this gold to Hera means that Hera's going to have a couple more waves of paladins. Did they make any changes for how bonus damage versus boats, by the way? I don't think so, right? No, they still have crazy bonus damage against boats. Yeah, so Halb is insane here. If you're going to go for Navy, I like Galleons because you have range. Or I like Demos because they just kill them. But Halbs are just going to, I don't know, like poke holes in the boats and destroy them, I think. Sorry, Hera did lose a Treb. But he still has the other 3 Trebs alive, and he's still moving them this way. And Vinchester just does not have enough, guys. And honestly, it was a very nice game. But, and we didn't see what we can sometimes see from Hera, where he's getting raids in on the opponent. But it's the exact opposite extreme, where he's just like, you need to raid me. He held on. And now he's just exploding with pop. Castle on the left side. More gold secured for him. And Halb is just massacring. It's not even about the paladins anymore. Like, what do you even do against Halb when you're making boats and camels? Vinch just has nothing now. You got completely raided back here. This is an absolute wasteland. It's also tough, too, when you're trying to produce. Like, he's auto-producing from these docks because he's using the select all dock hotkey or control group or whatever. So he's making pretty useless Navy there. And, yep, GG. Hera takes the first game. Yeah, it was a very boomy game, guys. It was a very boomy game, but felt like the timing for Hera was getting to this castle and hitting the Imperial Age when he did. But, I mean, he makes it look easy. I think if you try and toe that line of like defending, eventually your opponent's going to break you. But I wonder if Vinchester could have gone for another type of unit there. I've actually seen instances where people go a mix of knights and camels. That way you can actually kill eco. Because camels can't kill crap. They can kill the calf, but they can't kill villagers, right? They can't go underneath TCs. You do that, then you're playing knights against cavalier, and it feels like the cavalier is superior. So, I don't know. It's either way you look at it, there's still some downsides. But clearly Vinchester wanted a forward castle with camel and crossbow, and then the castle was already up, and the eco just exploded there with the Burgundians. So, well played to Hera. All right, so Hera's got the group locked down. He'll be first place. He goes Armenians here. Ooh. I mean, when you think great civs on bypass, you think civs of extremes. But usually extremely strong late game. He goes Armenians. They have a very weak late game. They can do some pretty ridiculous things, though. You could go for the Church Rush. You could play long swords in Feudal Age. So I don't know why Hera's picked Armenians. I'm assuming Vinchester picked Burmese maybe for his own monks. Both civs have really strong monks. In a monk v monk battle, though, you always favor the Burmese because the monastery technologies are 50% off. So my assumption here on bypass, because you have the opening through the middle, is that Hera will be aggressive. And he will try and go for longswords. And I'm not really sure how you deny it. I think what I would maybe do in Vinch's position is I would go fast feudal for the stone walls. Fast feudal, stone wall, and then Hera can't just play like longsword and archer and get away with it. He would need to add towers or something too. But there's a lot of mind games at play here. Obviously, if you get pushed through the middle, you do have the outside food. You also cannot build on the middle. I never know what to call it. The slightly different color sand terrain. You can't build there. So Church Rush would not really be viable for Hera in Castle Age unless he took down some of the walls here. No Man's Lands. Okay, we can call it no man's land. The death land. I normally say the area where the dead bodies are, but they're not really dead bodies anymore. They're skeletons, and then there's one here. So it's kind of confusing. Quicksand is probably the way to say it. Which, again, I'll restate. When I was a kid, I thought that quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem in my adult life. I thought that the things that I would worry about as an adult would be like alligators, quicksand, where the closest ice cream store is, and the amount of cartoons that were on the TV. Like, those were going to be my biggest stressors as an adult. In reality, it's like really boring stuff, like lower back, knees, taxes. Yeah, real life is a lot less exciting than I thought it was going to be. But seriously though, dude, quicksand, I thought quicksand was going to be a big thing. Like, is that just a regional thing? Can you guys tell me if that's the same for you? I don't know. It's just the movies and shows. There's quicksand everywhere when I was growing up. I don't know. Maybe it's just central Pennsylvanian thing. Hell no, LMAO. Really? Well, you're named after a hyena, so you had bigger problems. Hera's only 2 on wood right now, which that and the mill here indicates to me that he's going to try a really fast castle. If he was going for the longsword play, he would definitely have a slightly different build. And now Vinchester's got the barracks. So Vinchester's going to play aggressive, most likely. It was Indiana Jones that put that fear in me. Yeah, true. Freaking Indiana Jones, man. Because here's the thing. In the rare event that you would encounter quicksand, or I don't know, some type of crazy legend, and you would have to fight your way through some sketchy areas. Let's be real. If that were to happen, there wouldn't be some hot chick who initially didn't like you, who then would think you were the best near the end of the excursion, right? In reality, she would be annoyed with me, and she would stay annoyed with me. And, you know, I'd probably die in the quicksand or something, right? Indiana Jones messed this all up. In reality, the hot chick buys her own sword. True. But we're okay with that, Ducks. We're okay with that. That's fine. We're happy with that. Yeah, so Hera... Okay, I don't know what's going on. Initially, I thought he wasn't going fast feudal. He is actually going fast feudal. This could still be longsword, but it's not going to be your typical build where you have the army right away. It's definitely man-at-arms and tower from Vinch. 4 villagers are coming. Hera should be in a decent position to defend from this, but it can get really awkward here because with Burmese extra attack on the infantry, it's depending on the time that Vinchester attacks as well. Like if Vinchester were to attack now, he'd do a lot more damage to the gate for a second, and then he'd be through. But he doesn't want Hera to know yet. T90 thinks he's in a movie. I am in a movie. I'm 33 years old. I talk about a video game that is older than one of the players we're watching right now. Or actually, that's not true. That's not accurate with Hera. That's close. My Life's a weird movie, yeah. I talk about a video game, and I am lucky enough to call it my job. And, I mean, there's no quicksand, thankfully, but we'll see. Houses on the way up there for Hera. If he wasn't in feudal age, he could just straight up die to this, so... I'd be curious to know if he expected this. He could easily just expect fast castle monk, so it's kind of hard. I guess if Hera didn't get pressured like this, he could just flex into playing the longsword strategy. The tower goes up for Vinch. He goes for another tower, and he goes for an archery range. But Eco's kind of at the limit for him. It's definitely at the limit for Hera as well, though. Hera doesn't have the double bit axe upgrade. And Vinchester Civ gets it for free. I don't think there's going to be a movie about me, chat. I don't know. They might get desperate, though. Maybe someone will get super desperate. They'll think it's a good idea someday. Ooh, we could do like an Age of Empires reality show. We put all the players in a gaming house and we record their every move. Would you guys watch? I don't know if that's the direction we want for the community. I don't think our target audience is on board with that, so. Only if there's quicksand. Yeah. If there's quicksand, that'd be super nice. Well, Vinch is going to the outside now. No kills in this game yet. He has put Hera under some pressure, and his eco is completely untouched. Hera, though, has archers. And so, long-term here, he can just put his archers in his tower to shoot this down. So, Vinch is going to try and do the same thing. But I think this first tower is going to end up going down. I like the attack on the outside. Also, Hera deleted his gate earlier, so if he would have done it on this side, his base is wide open. Deleting the gate to fight a Zebra in Dark Age is probably ill-advised. But typical, I don't think he's going to get punished by it. Yeah, Hera hasn't really left his base. I think since he hasn't seen the Man-at-Arms, he's likely expecting some pressure on the outside. If that's the case, I think this should be walled. But again, we know he's not being attacked from there. And Vinch didn't have Loom. That's crazy. Vinch has done a really nice job so far. Like I think for Hera, it's very manageable. There's a lot of adaptations, but very similar to the first game. It's pretty 50-50 at the moment. Hera will keep telling himself that Vinchester has more idle time, but now he also has even more idle time because of this tower. And once the Man-at-Arms are here as well, Hera might have to get some archers over there. Hera shifts the archers over to this tower. Still the 4 villagers in here. And Vinchester will probably need to repair this tower as well. But again, he only has 4 archers. How is Hera's TC so idle? Well, his berries have been pressured. And his eco is at the absolute limit with how fast he went up in the first place. So you could say it's a skill issue. I think it's easy to look at that and say skill issue, but obviously when you got someone as good as Hera, it's also just a very real problem you face when you get pressured like this. Credit to Vinchester for... You don't know what area you're going to pressure, but he's been the one that's been dishing out the harassment here, and Hera, just like game number 1, hasn't really been able to take control of the game just yet. Vinch is one of those players that would kind of tower rush on any map in the past, but especially arena maps, even with stone walls, he loved to do this. Vinchester kills a villager as well. Nice. Kills a villager, loses a tower, though. And does lose the Man-at-Arms, but I think the only thing you don't want to lose there is lose your scout. Hera's scout still being alive is very nice. A bit of an eco check. We've got 6 farms. It's not a lot for Vinch. Hera's got 11. So I think if Hera uses the farms and also uses the market to maybe buy some food, he could still get the castle age faster. What's up, Hybio? Welcome. Cypher7, thank you. Welcome in. Croco, what's up? Hezemi with 101 months. Yeah, it's a long time. Thank you, Hezemi. 101 months. And Hezemi has done so much work beyond that, including the Rigo mats for community games, guys. That was his idea to name it that. Not my fault. People were already calling community games rigged. And yeah, then he made the system, and the system is really good, and now people call it rigged even more. Oh, Hera's going for the dive here. What do you do if you're Vinch? Obviously, focus down a couple archers and get out of here. Is this the right move for Hera? I like the move because you want a big attack into a counter attack, ideally. Yeah, it's working out for him. And he could actually snowball this into a tower rush on Vinchester as well. That's nice micro from Vinch. But Vinch never had the archer numbers that Hera had this game. And oh god, be careful, Vinch. Be careful. Don't let him through. Don't let him through. Don't let him through. No! Hera's holding the gate. Hold door. No, and Hera, you got to get under the gate with something. Okay, he's under the gate with the 1 archer. The 2 archers are through. Vinch is like, you're kidding me, bro. Vinch will add some skirms. I mean, that gate's going to go down regardless, and he didn't have the position to, or the time to wall it up or tower here or anything. Uno reversed from Hera. He's like, you tower rush me? I tower rush you. That's really annoying for the clip that Hera doesn't have the stone. Right? Like, the fact that Hera didn't have the stone right there to drop the tower is so painful. Because now there's some skirms, and now he actually does have to back away. And now, this villager as well is 1 stone shy of enough for a tower. Whatever. I mean, in the end, you force Vinchester to panic a little bit, maybe. Vinchester clears it up. Both players should probably just wall this. The fact that Hera hasn't walled this is surprising to me. But listen, I mean, resources collected. 900 more for Vinchester. Vinchester will drop the market. Vinchester will balance out his res. And I'm still wondering, like, why Armenians? I could see it for longswords. I could see it for monks. But, like, they don't get bombard cannon. You're definitely going to run into some issues with the Armenian tech tree later. Vinchester is definitely playing towards a castle. The Ville's on stone. I've never seen Arambai versus Composite Bowman before. So that'd be kind of fun. I have a feeling Hera's not going to play Composite Bowman, though. I think he's just going to play TCs. Scout's still out there scouting the map, so I would not surprise me at all to see Hera just try and get the relics, drop a TC over here. You're kind of expecting the Armenian player to go like Siege and Monk follow-up. So maybe you don't want to TC anywhere towards this front area because it could get pushed. Are Burmese better than Armenians in late game? It's kind of a weird matchup because they both have their weaknesses. But yeah, I would say Burmese are better just because the main thing is having access to bombard cannon with siege engineers just seems like a big difference maker at this level. Remember, you can't drop the castle in the quicksand. You could actually drop the castle right there. Like, the space is there, but obviously that would be kind of suicide. I don't know. Kind of feels like Vinch is going to boom and then build the castle later as well, the more I look at it. He's got crazy resources. But I don't think he'll feel comfortable moving to the outside because he doesn't have a scout to see what Hera's doing. I'm going back and forth. I look at their builds and I still have no clue. It's very flexible. They can go different directions with it. Okay, the read on Vinchester's situation is correct. Second TC, third TC. And then I think if he gets pressured, he drops a castle on the front. And then Hera, University, Monastery. Okay, Hera goes fast in. This is going to be a hell of a game. Because basically Vinch goes very low army and boom. And Hera is going to go max army and... Well, I say max army. He won't have a lot, but I think he plays fast imp. And I don't mind like a castle right here from Hera. And then the Trebs could just destroy. Vinchester's TCs are not far away from where the trebuchets will come either. But clock will be ticking for Hera economically. He doesn't have the eco upgrades the Burmese have. He might not end up having the relics either. We'll see on that. But it's important that Vinchester realizes what's happening and... Ooh, run, 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 bro, run, run. No. See you later, sucker. Look at Vinch try and block. That's so funny. Vinch was right there with his monk as well. Oh, oh, oh. Nice. Warrior priest too strong. You know what's wild here? In a normal scenario, if they both had their scout alive, Vinchester would know Hera's up to imp because of the score dip. You would always know. But because Hera has the scout that got an extra like 500 score boost, Vinch is looking at the score right now, and I don't think he's going to notice the dip. I mean, he's building a castle like he knows. Like this, you don't place this castle if you're not expecting a fast imp. So maybe I'm wrong. That would be pretty crazy game sense, though. And then it's like, what do you do about it? All right. AoE 2 tournament trivia. Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. Armenians, Malians. Armenian player down in town centers and down bad in villagers. But they go fast imp, couple composite bowmen with trebs to come and bring the game back. What's the player matchup? What tournament? Armenians, comeback, composite bowman, fast imp. It was Vinchester doing it against Leary in King of the Desert, and it was insane because the composite bowmen got really nice value for what they were. So Vinchester should know, because he's done it before. He should understand like how strong that could be. Yeah, Dark tried the same thing versus Heart in a game as well. That's true. That was this season of TTL. Well done. I mean, 66 villagers against 41 is significant. But Hera's going to have Trebs now. Trebs, and it doesn't even feel like Composite Bowman. It feels like Trebs and Monks. He does have 4 relics, which is, of course, very nice. I like this from Vinch. Vinch is like, what are you actually making in here, pal? What are you doing in there? 2 monasteries. Okay. Castle. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you very much for all the information. Nice little tour of your town. That's really nice. Yep. But now the Trebs are here. Meanwhile, behind this, the castle for Vinchester is very far back. He's already... The monks are already ready to evacuate the relics. That's so smart. I don't know if Vinch will win this game, but it's so smart that he's already moved the relics and he's already has the castle on the back. He's dropping stables too, so he correctly assesses that Hera will likely go for monks because he saw the churches and he didn't see Composite Bowman. But Hera could always add Composite Bowman. He still has that castle. Vinch is stone and gold on the outside. Vinch has lots of farms. Vinch will even relocate his wood line. He's just letting everybody know you've got 5 minutes to get out of here. And also, do not panic is what he's telling his people right now. But there's always value. Like, you're going to lose houses. You're going to lose your market. There's so much that you don't want to lose in this situation. But that's why you have to pre-build it all, which is what he's doing. Guys, I think Hera will move forward for a forward castle to partner with the Trebs. I think he might get completely cleared. Honestly. I mean, if he had Composite Bowman with Bracer, I'd think differently, but he doesn't really have many. And his eco is completely at the limit. Vinchester staying in Castle Age is a really good call. Let's see. Let's actually look at this from Hera's perspective, too. Like, what does he see? He'll bring the Vills. Yeah, here come the Vills. This is perfect from Hera's perspective. You bring the castle. Your castles are part of your military. There's the castle. Now, you see that castle, you have to engage if you're Vinch. Who has Lightcav. He sees the Vills. This is Hera's perspective. And here comes Vinchester. Big moment. Big moment. But Devotion is in. And Hera's not reacting. Hera's not watching. Oh, man. I mean, not exactly what you want if you're playing monks. To not have any conversions targeted. The castle's still on the way up. Will the castle complete? Is it a doubt castle? Yikes. Well, hold on. 90%. 90%. 90%. It's fine? It's fine. Arambai? Huh? Huh? What? How did that castle go up? Are those darts made of paper? Like, I can't believe that castle went up. That's so weird. If that castle goes up, Hera can play Composite Bowman and Trebs and still win this game. Down 60 villagers. Composite Bowman ignoring armor, and with just how cheap they are, plus the value from some of the monks. I don't know, man. I thought Vinchester won the game right there. But now, Hera, he knows he needs more Composite Bowman because the presence of the Lightcav. And he can just bring the trebuchets forward, and he's got 2 castles as well. Here goes Vinch. Vinch is going to try some raids on the other side. I would have to rewatch it. It almost seemed like Vinchester assumed the villagers were going to die. Would you guys agree? Because from my assessment, that was like, okay, game over. The Vills are dead. The castle doesn't go up. And that's obviously not what happened. Big Vill difference. Vinchester will at least try for the trebuchets now. Hera does just complete Bracer, but Hera still has such a weak economy. The Arambai are underneath the castle. The Trebs are getting sniped. The Lightcav are getting raids in the north for Vinch. Hera... I mean, he will take the castle. Vinchester's going to go Imp in that TC, okay? I think he'll make it. And he killed a bunch of Vills over here as well. He's killed 21 Vills from Hera this game. Hera, 33 villagers and still pushing right now. Oh, God. Weirdly enough, I think Vinch can still easily lose. You just... you're telling yourself that you're fine because you need to have that mentality. But Composite Bowman Trebs is dangerous, and it is 2 castles to produce them. And Hera, he doesn't have a lot of food eco or anything, but he could still find gold. He could still make Composite Bowman. This is where it's so nice to have expanded some of your eco to the outside, though. Like, the fact that Vinchester even had this TC instead of this TC is a game saver, because that's the only TC he has remaining now. And also, Hera kind of has to go both ways, which is what makes this map so cool. Hera has to go this way or this way. And he's finding out now that there's a castle down here. There's a castle here he has to kill, and there's a castle here he has to kill. And imp will happen, and Vinchester's economy is just so damn good. Another castle for Vinchester. Another TC for Vinchester. Hera loses these trebs once. It's probably game over. I think even if, like... I actually think Hera's fast imp play was very solid fast imp. I think the build overall, very, very strong. But Vinchester read it perfectly. Because, like, his castle position was because he read it was fast imp. His relics getting relocated was because he read it was fast imp. Like, he knew. Even the Lycav Aaron by numbers was because he read it was fast imp. It was super solid. Someone in chat saying Hera's overextending. Dude, you're not overextending. When you got 40 vills, you're overextending if you don't send everything. You gotta kill now. This doesn't get any better for you. Like, your time is limited. You need to do damage as quickly as possible. Nice job here from Hera. You have to be out here. Unfortunately for Hera, like, these relics even. Like, is that even important when you're behind this much in eco? I don't know. I think Vinchester's been patient. Weirdly enough, makes it to imp. Will actually take the fight before having any imp upgrades. But it might not matter. Hera's too exposed. And I think once Hussar's in as well, Hussar will at least make a difference on the Lycav, and Vinchester can always spam more of them. I think we're seeing in the fights how good Composite Bowmen are for what they are, but I still don't think that's going to be good enough. Vinchester will keep the castle up. Vinchester will take down the Trebs. Hera unable to push any of the sides. And Vinchester snags a game. As a fun one. I mean, I really don't want to understate how cool that was from Vinchester. I actually want to go back and I want to look at some of his decision-making here. If you place forward castle or any of the TCs in here, I think you're completely cooked. But he goes TCs on the outside. I want to go back to when Hera clicked and the score real quick. Watch the score bottom right. See, that's an inflated score because of the scouting. And then it will dip. And does Vinch notice that? Because, like, what other things did he see? Yeah, score dips there. Again, this castle, like, casually in the back, he relocates the relic super early. It feels like he knew. That's just amazing game sense. Town center's in the middle, castle on the front. All that stuff makes it so much more difficult for Vinchester. So we had a lot of action today. But even though this series was played earlier on this morning, or I think yesterday or something, the players would have known their situation was Hera locks down first place if he gets one win, and Vinchester's, like, you know, second or third place, depending on what Hart does. So I think we might see some YOLO action, just like the previous game. Having said that, I question Armenians in the previous game. I think that both these divs make a lot of sense. Hart went for Dravidians earlier today. Hera's going to go for them here. They have great fishing bonuses. And so Hera will probably play the water a little bit more, in theory, as the Dravidians. And then Vinchester, Spanish Navy is actually top tier. The Spanish do not have any weaknesses on water, really. But they also have the Conquistador. They also have the Monks. Spanish are insanely good. But while we have the time, let's do a little bit of TTL trivia with chat, all right? Now, this is really bad trivia because I'm going based on my memory, which is horrible because this is all 5 seasons of Titans League. But let me try anyways, because I think I know it. Chat, can you please name for me the civilization that has the highest win rate across all 5 seasons that have at least been played 10 times. Name the civ. So, the very new civilizations would not count. I think they haven't been played 10 times. Name the civ. Okay, we got people saying Chinese. Solid. That's a very solid choice. We got people saying Malay. All right, solid choice. We got Koreans in there. We got Mongols in there. And we have a lot of people saying Spanish. Yes, I actually believe it's Spanish. Obviously, what made me think of it was seeing Spanish here. You can go to the TTL site and look it up and sort it by all seasons, but I think it is Spanish. The thing is they're really good at specific settings, specific maps. This would be one of them. Obviously, arena-style maps. Anytime you can get to Conquistadors, it's very strong. Chinese win rate is also very good, but the Chinese, they've been played more, at least in certain seasons, and they have lost, so... T90, I'm finishing a spreadsheet of players in TTL. Who would you guess the player or top 3 players with more losses, question mark? You mean, like, which top player has lost more? Can you explain what you mean? Also, if you have any data, reach out. We can maybe incorporate it into the site. Yeah, Spanish have a crazy high win rate, which was pointed out to me by a viewer using the TTL site, and I was surprised. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, am I really that surprised? Because Spanish are insane. Like, every time Spanish are played, everyone's terrified, so. And that's even before the Spanish Inquisition, which is crazy. Historically accurate? Well, yeah, maybe. Maybe it is historically accurate the Spanish are strong. The other day, I saw the Aztecs beat the Spanish in a ranked game. And I thought the opposite, so. But the question now is, will the players go for a second dock? Or will they play like more one dock approach? If they only play with one dock, we might see more of the castle or monk approach. There's a slight chance that Hera wants to play water into skirmishers, which sounds super weird. But if you're expecting conquistadors, you might want to play skirm. I also don't hate archers here because you can hold the middle of the map to prevent the forward castle. You can never allow yourself to be castle dropped on this map. So the archer approach is very nice. And also you got villagers on wood and gold, which help you make the ships as well, right? The T90, will there ever be a small tournament with Greek civs? I think it would be fun to see pros play them. I've got too many other things going on. And also I'm... How do I phrase this? A try-hard, I guess? I don't know. Not that I don't have the potential to appreciate those civs, but if they're not incorporated in the main AoE2, I'm probably not going to focus on them. It'd probably be something for someone else. But yeah, maybe. But dude, I've got a week after TTL. I'm flying to London for Red Bull. We'll be broadcasting Red Bull and doing some stuff there. Every event I'm hosting, I've got like 2 to 3 more things I'm talking about. You have no idea how unbelievably busy the start of this year has been in terms of even just conversations. So, for me, I got no time. But that's like kind of in a good way for you guys. So, T90, I don't know if it's just me, but every so often your stream freezes for a few seconds, and it's only on Twitch and only your Twitch stream. I don't get the freeze when watching you on YouTube. Interesting. Yeah, dude, I don't know what to tell you, except that's really annoying. Different platforms can be different for different people because of servers and stuff, so... I've up 0 frames. Is everything good now? We good? Wait, hold on. I've just looked something up on Twitch. And it says... Users may experience a slight freeze on certain streams if they're low IQ. Whoa. Wait, what? That can't be IQ related. That's great. No way, dude. That's so odd. Guys, look it up. That's what Twitch said. Not me. Don't make jokes. Not me. Look it up. Sorry. It's been a long day. I'm just kidding. Sorry. You're fine. I think Hera's doing exactly what I said, by the way. I think he's thinking wood and gold for Navy. And he's going to make some army to prevent Vinchester from going for the forward castle. I think he'll look... Chat, don't -7k me right now. That was a good joke, okay? That was one of my better jokes. It's only minus, like, 10, maybe. I think he'll look at the stone again. He'll be able to see the Vil there, and he'll just be waiting. Waiting in the darkness. But you have to hide the archers. You have to sit back and wait. I don't even think it's about, like, a big mass of archers. It's about enough to just stop the castle being forward. But Vinch is getting loom. So if Vinch is getting loom, he's definitely going to leave his base. And Hera... Yeah, he's starting to mass it now. And Vinchester's like, what are you doing in there, pal? And, oh, this would be... Oh, that's such a big deal. That's such a big deal. Because Hera's got the slight HP lead. Now, Vinchester will be scared to move out. So he takes an even bigger risk with less information, ideally. And look, Hera's still paranoid. He's like, I'm not chasing you. I'm looking for you. Hera should check the stone. Go over to the stone, see what's going on. But he has other things to manage, of course. He's gone for the galleys. And he's found the dock for Vinchester. But this dock, Hera just passing. Denying this dock would be huge. Spanish build speed is not enough. And none of the fish are fishing for Vinchester. Oh, man. This is rough for Vinch at the moment, guys. Because he can't get the food income he needs, even if he gets the conquistadors. And Hera's just going to wait with the archers. He is fletching already, which benefits the galleys, of course. A fire there for Vinch. Fires are better against galleys now, but it is 4 galleys with fletching against just 1 fire. And Hera tries to go back for the dock. Villager cheeky. And Vinchester tries to complete the dock. And she dies. So Villager's dead. Dock still denied. Fires are very strong here, though. Again, Hera has to eventually get to Castle Age. If Vinch goes for a defensive castle, I think he's still completely fine position to adapt into. A forward castle is just straight suicide here. But he doesn't know what Hera's doing. Hera's adding a lot of fishing ships behind this. Yeah, I think Vinch is playing it safe. He's not going to forget about the water, which is so important on the map. He's getting the warships upgrades, so his fires will be upgraded. Let's see on the castle spot, though. Okay, there's the castle, and Hera's going to... I wonder if he cancels that archer. He's going to see that and be like, damn it. I thought he was going to run forward. No real need to cancel the archer, but obviously now you're thinking more about using the archers to control the map later. And now Vinchester's up, and now Vinchester's got the fires, which should mean Hera would have to go for the Hawks. T90, I'm at my parents' house. My mom fell asleep listening to your stream. The allegations are true. Okay. Thank you for that information. It's been a long day, okay? That doesn't mean that I'm boring, I hope. It's been a long day. It's always concerning, though, when the stream drops for like 30 seconds and 1,000 viewers don't come back. It does make me think a little bit. I'm like, how many of those people are actively listening right now? Or because you have to refresh for the view to count again, I think. T90, you have a nice voice. I like it. I appreciate that, but I also put in a great deal of effort. And so when people snooze to my content, it can hurt the old ego a little bit, you know? Hera's on the way up now. Hera is mining this gold, which is technically ranged by the conquistadors, but nice touch to get loom. I've seen players forget loom a lot here. And guys, it's monk time. Or actually, hold on, Capture H calls it a monk when it's holding a relic. Literally broken. It's actually a missionary. In a recent change, missionaries can pick up relics. Which should be very easy at the moment because Hera doesn't have any of his army active on the map. He's still fighting on water, and he is still winning on water, and he has 11 fishing ships. But yeah, now he needs to shift off of the gold. Hera's scout as well, going to get sniped. Yep, Hera's scout goes down. I don't know about this position for Hera, guys. It's very difficult to play if he gets siege pushed. That's the big thing, I think. Also kind of funny. Hera selected all of his villagers to build a tower, and then he brought a turkey with him. And there goes nice turkey micro. Not sure what that's about. Must have forgot about that one. mean, Hera's locked down first place. I think he's gone for some maps to be creative a little bit today, and I think it makes sense. If you don't need the win necessarily, you want to experiment as much as possible. But oh boy, petard time. And we got critical timing here because the walls get more HP in 15 seconds. For now, though, one petard can get these conquistadors in, and they're in. Bam. Luckily for Hera, he's got a bit of a surprise waiting for Vinchester. Vinchester thinks he just won the game. How far does he go? Okay, kills 2 villagers. Man, conquistadors are insane. Yeah, it's looking good. Some damage control from Hera. Clearly, Hera wasn't expecting this. Hera's waiting for his upgrades. Nice damage control. Still lost a lot of vills. But now he's got to the other side of the conquistadors, and now the conquistadors can't escape. And yeah, this is not something Vinchester was ever expecting, and Hera will be very happy with that. Beautiful clear up. You might almost take that trade. If you have the water control, which he does, I think you take that trade. You had 2 options if you're Vinch. 1, you petard in. 2, you go for siege push on the gold. I think siege push on the gold should always be the game plan anyways. He could always flex into that now. He does have 5 relics. So 5 relics. Hera will have to be microing like a god here. Just hurts for Vinchester that Hera is able to essentially freely fish. There are some sneaky fires in the back. But Vinchester's got a very healthy economy for a player without fish. That's a lot of farming eco. Hera doesn't have any farms. Fires are also just hoping for some type of counter damage. Hera definitely wants some type of fast imp here to get bracer, chemistry for the crossbows, bombard cannons. Hera garrisons the fish. We'll probably send something back there to deal with those fires. And no ballistics or anything for Hera yet, so the conquistadors can still freely run around the map. Vinchester loves his unique units, and Vinchester maybe has enough stone for another castle. I mean, why not, right? Now, fun fact, he thinks there's still a hole here. Hera just rewalled it, which is a nice little detail. Because it kind of feels like Vinch wants to run in and castle drop right now. He's definitely building a castle, but does he know where he can place the castle? T90 naval fights are boring. Land fights, you hear swords clashing, horses dying, bows firing, and boats are just bell noises. Yeah, but I feel like the devs could have come up with some other noise. I agree. They even added new boats, and it's still just a bunch of dinging. Oh, yeah, he thought that was open. He thought that was open. And if that was open, Hera's in big trouble. Hera sees the villagers now. The Hera's like, oh boy, what's about to happen? And it's a castle from Vinchester, obviously. But that castle denies Hera's stone a little bit. Hera will buy his own castle. He'll drop it in his base. He needs to make it to Imp, and this protects the town center, so I like it. Feels like he's so close and yet so far away from Imp. He's got to wait. He's like, come on, fishing ships. Drop off the food. Drop off the food, please. I don't like the castle position from Vinch. I think he drops the castle here because he was committed to that hole and he wanted to pressure here. You gotta deny Hera's gold, in my opinion. But I guess if you do both, if you castle here and then you simultaneously siege push the gold, it's still fine. Hera has all but locked down water now. There's still a fire ship over here sniping some fishing ships, so that's not bad. A couple fishing ship kills. And now Hera does get pushed off the gold. So, when you get pushed off this gold, you want relics. Hera doesn't have any relics. And then from there, you need the oysters. And I think Hera's taken a lot of the oysters. There's 60 gold left there, and there's 100 gold left there. Hera is about to be completely out of gold. And then he'd have to sell wood, and he'd have to sell food. Guys, Hera might have a good population. Hera might be on the way to Imp. What army is he supposed to make? Like, crossbowmen with no golds? Yeah, well played from Vinchester to at least get some value from that fire. You would never expect it. I don't know, man. Like, even Bracer's going to be really tough to afford. Technically, Imp could be denied here as well, but I think he's still got a little bit of time. Well played from Vinchester. Hera will obviously need to sell some res to get a Treb. Will he make it to Imp right now? This is kind of dangerous. Okay, yeah, he's playing that game, which is cheeky. You don't even give him the power. You just attack the TC now. You're like, I'm not even going to try and hit your crossbows if you do that. Hera brought the villagers just in case. Heart's probably beating a little bit there. And all right. Vinchester will push the wood line. Crossbows pop out. Vinchester fires. Still no ballistics or anything for Hera. I mean, these are really strong conquistadors. Now he builds a panic TC in the back. The conks are going through. This is dangerous, guys. This is dangerous. It's going to be a feast. But for who? That's honestly perfectly microed from both. It's so insane. If Hera didn't have this TC, he's cooked. If Vinchester didn't micro just like that, he could have been in big trouble. That's the best case scenario for Hera. This is just, it's a really awkward position for him. That town center's a crazy call. He had to buy and sell resources for it too. All right, Hera's made it Imp. He still can't afford a Treb. He is getting ballistics. He is getting Bracer. But Vinch has got to know, Hera doesn't have gold. Hera could actually fish the oysters on this. He's doing it. Okay, the Hera has gold. I stand corrected. It's very inefficient, but he could slowly take oysters back with those two fishing ships. All right. And all right, he uses the micro, takes down the mangonel. Well played. Still only 9 crossbows. Vinch will be up against Trebuchet soon. Vinchester needs to stay Castle Age forever and play Knights, in my opinion. Or go Imp. Sorry, I didn't realize he had invested the resources in Imp. I think that's obviously fine as well. I mean, trebuchets are kind of a deal breaker here, right? But I guess Hera's saving for a bombard cannon instead. Honestly, there's an argument to transport a villager over here and then build a dock and then take the oysters. I think if Vinchester saw that, he might even bring his conquistadors home, but he's not even thinking of... Is he thinking about it? Oh, he's going around, but yeah, that's tough because the Navy's there. Yeah, so it's a nice thought. It got really quiet. He wants to go somewhere else. I think he's thinking he could raid the fishing ships or something, but... Hera slowly, potentially reclaiming this gold. I do not understand why he didn't add a Treb. I've been waiting for a trebuchet for minutes now. And the argument is to make bombard cannons, which is fine, but I would like one Treb first there in Hera's position. A Treb could be dishing out damage this whole time. No gold? Yeah, he has no gold. That's true. I mean, he's trying to get the gold, but it feels to me like he's maybe waited for the bombard cannons as well. He did click Elite Skirm. One Treb would have been really nice there. But, you know, times are tough without gold, guys. Any Stronghold fans out there? These gold prices are too low, my liege. I don't think that's the quote or the voice, but you know what I'm going for. Elite Skirm's good. You've got food and you've got wood, and it fires faster with the Dravidian. So Elite Skirm's really nice. And there's the trebuchet now. These stockpiles are dwindling, my liege. Not for Vinch, though. I mean, Vinchester's resources, for players that had no fish on a big fish map, Vinchester's resources are looking very nice. Vinchester seemingly very confident with the numbers as well. And why not? Like, why not? This castle's still standing, man. Like, he had enough time to make a trebuchet here. Hera's been an imp for a long time, but we haven't really seen that pay off for him. Vinchester's on 2 town centers. Vinchester has the relics. Vinchester has 2 castles, so he can make his own trebs. And pretty soon, Hera's castles could be going down. But, I mean, Vinchester does need to actually getting close to these units here. And, oh, God, what are we doing? Kind of stacked up there against the Mangonel, which you wouldn't expect. He does have the missionaries healing up. He will get in close, and I actually think that fight's going to be still fine for him. Conquistadors are still strong, even against Dravidian skirms. They're expensive units, though. And maybe I'm misreading. We have Cavalier upgrade on the way for Vinch, so he's worried about the skirms now. Hera's chasing this down. Trebs for both players are going to take down both players' castles. I think with a little bit of thinking ahead here from Vinchester, if he just played Knights instead of Conks, once he saw he had a lot of time to see that Hera was on range units like this, I think that Hera gets surprised there. But now it's interesting because now Hera, he'll take down the castle, he'll take the trebs, and Vinch might need to show his tech switch a little bit earlier than he'd like. Actually, I have herbal medicine there for Vinchester so he can heal up that HP in the castle. This is where it's really nice that Spanish don't have to spend any gold on their blacksmith techs. So you can get the Cavalier upgrade and make the Knights all while doing everything else. Yeah, Hera's going to actually take down the Trebs with his Vills. And again, very nice from Hera. The re-wall there, it's very easy to forget that. But that's 2 times he's re-walled, so Vinchester can't just run into his base. He will lose the Treb to the Conquistadors. He still doesn't have a lot on gold, but he can actually reclaim his gold. He still has the Navy on the outside, too. I think in the really late game, you could maybe make Cannon Galleons there. But for now, you need to focus on the middle. And okay, Hera should see Cavalier now. But it might be a little too late. You see this, and you lose your whole army, and you have no time to tech switch, and that's a problem. And there it is. Cavalier's a huge switch. I don't even think Hera... Yeah. I was going to say, what do you even do? Because if you run away, you open your gates, and the Cavalier flood in, and Hera just taps out. He realizes he doesn't have enough. Vinchester takes 2 games. Now, this didn't affect the group standings massively. Hera is already first place. We'll see what that means for Vinchester, but a very nice series here. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it because of the timing and everything. The goal is to interview every first place player. I'd love to talk to Hera and ask him what he thought about the maps, like the map choices and whatnot, and how much the map choices for this final series was influenced by the fact that he might have already had first place locked down, but... Great series from Vinch, and that's what I'm talking about. I said, well, everyone said when they saw the group, you have Hera, Vinchester, Hart, Yo, that the quality is insanely high. And at least in Vinchester, Hera, and Hart's case, they had a very good season. So we'll see them all in playoffs. They might end up being favorites in those sets. This is how the group ends. Sorry, guys. Spoilers on what happened earlier today. It was a really long day, and I refreshed this, which was a mistake. But we had the dramatic first series, which went 2-1 for Yo. Yo survives. We then had Hart in 3 very close games, winning 3-0. And then we had Vinchester winning 2-1. Again, doesn't change Hera's position. Hera goes 12-3. Hart ends up with 10. Vinchester ends up with 10. Essentially, the first tiebreak is set wins. It was 4-4 here between Hart and Vinch, and then the head-to-head went to Hart. So that's why Hart ends up getting the second place nod. Yeah, what a day. The conclusion of this group was epic. That Yo Lucho situation earlier was incredible. In the end, though, the players you expected to be in the top 4 end up being in the top 4 in the group.